tournament. Let's find out if Complexity can shut down a red-hot FaZe clan down on the pitch.
FaZe in Complexity. Complexity, a team that failed to make the World Championship after moving regions, now are bound for San Diego, but they're taking on the regional reigning champs in FaZe. Corelli, what do you make of Complexity's chances?
I think they're pretty good here. I don't think FaZe will be able to do what they did against Gen G to Complexity. Now, this matchup has happened once before in the fall. It was FaZe who came out on top in 4 games, but Complexity, they've been a different beast this split. I think this one, James, might have the makings of 7.
We will see, because FaZe has looked like a different team. Gen G were looking unstoppable, making every finals, but that streak ended because of how well FaZe was playing. We'll see if they can continue that level of play here. Mist will get bombed, but he still makes it back to the play. Mist making the stop.
He's been incredible defensively for FaZe, and it's been their biggest weakness, the biggest criticism of FaZe. Now one of their strengths here, as we saw against Gen G. They were rock solid. The Des mentioned it. They held Gen G for like over 17 minutes of no score. That's a feat that no one can say they've done, and for FaZe to do it is a little unprecedented with the way their defense has been, with the narrative around it.
Well, you have Typical, who moved back, had so much success on Space Station playing as that 3rd man, and then missed one of the most prolific defenders that RLCS has seen. And then also First Killer is not as talked about as much as his offense, but defensively, right, he is a very difficult player to beat. He reads almost everything, and his mechanics allow him to save almost everything as well.
And the difference is First Killer, I think, trusts this team more than he's trusted any other team to get the job done defensively. And that's why you're not seeing as many double commits. You're not seeing them be so scared to move up. Sure, they still give a little bit of space, but it's working for FaZe. There's not a lot of criticisms to be had with the way they've been shaped up defensively. And the offense as well, James, when you talk about all the skill and individual prowess on this team, you know how good they are. And it just took that little bit of cohesion to make them burst into the scene and now have that win and trying to go back-to-back here.
Ooh. Now the cohesion being tested. Mist swoops in with a demo on AJG as FaZe has been playing goal line defense. Complexity's attack still coming strong. There's a backward pass from RazeBull. The shot blocked by Mist. Rebound chances for Complexity, but now a counterattack opportunity that'll be easily saved. Finally, FaZe break out.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot about FaZe, but boy, Complexity, they've been piling on the pressure. 7 shots so far. They forced 6 saves out of FaZe, and FaZe now firing off a couple shots towards Complexity, but easy saves. As that defense from FaZe has been tested, now the offense trying to ramp up, but it's Complexity to clear it away.
Mist now trying to take that first touch. AJG getting demoed, smoke screen. RazeBull was able to still stay on the play. Complexity forced to play a bit of defense now. AJG, not much boost, will boom it upfield. Mist to the middle. First Killer up. He beat RazeBull to the ball. CRR with a nice read off the backboard, but still FaZe are looking to attack. There's another demo. Mist starting to take heads on Complexity.
Yeah, demo there. And now an outlet pass to Typical. Great defense here from AJG, just to mark that man on the wall. You don't want to give the outlet for free to FaZe. Their counterattack has been very strong at just generating chances. You saw that against Gen G. Now Typical, unfortunately, giving away to AJG. That's a great cut by FaZe. RazeBull gets beat to the ball, but FaZe hasn't pushed up all the way quite yet. An easy clear for AJG.
That was well done by Mist, making back-to-back players miss from Complexity. Now Typical in the air, doesn't have much boost. We'll leave it for Mist. Bit of mixed misdirection that we have seen FaZe incorporate more and more into their game.
I think Typical wanted to give that one to First Killer, and Typical will make up for it on the back wall. But you can see a couple chances from the offense have really been built through Typical. Bringing that ball down, letting Mist take it. It came back to Typical. He tried to dish it up to First Killer, setting up his teammates for success. Hasn't panned out quite yet, but you can see him being a maestro there for FaZe.
Typical, former MVP. Such a great player. So versatile as well, but this one slips through. We have to take another look at where Mist was coming from on this one. Looks like United tried to do a squishy save and Mist read the angle.
Yeah, a little awkward there for Mist, as such a smart spot to pick there for RazeBull as well. Give him credit. That's 9 shots now for Complexity, and one finally breaks through that FaZe clan defense. It was an awkward touch from First Killer. That's really what put FaZe into the danger zone. And with a minute to go, Complexity with a 1-goal lead.
Their demo. Is this net open?
Oh, it's open.
Yes, it is! The demo left it wide open, Corelli.
It was First Killer hunting HAG, and look at the space. It's all of FaZe staring at an open net, and CRR is trying to get back. But the last man in Complexity, that was it for the defense.
Goodness. Poor AJG, how many times has he been demoed this game? I feel like pretty much every time we've seen somebody get demoed, it's been him.
Physical game was super important for FaZe against Gen G, just ruining their rhythm, taking players out of the space that FaZe wanted to take. And it pays off here to find the equalizer.
Raise Bull, and now we see some revenge. CRR taking out Mist. Raise Bull, pass, going for the bump, but First Killer dodged it and got the touch. Mist, first touch control. Raise Bull hops on it. Excellent speed, now going for another challenge, but that one doesn't hit. AJG, lob toward net, easily saved by Typical, but rebound comes out to CRR. Now double commit from FaZe, full boost for Raise Bull, goes for a flip reset, trying to control it. Will fake the hit, leaves it for AJG. Complexity starting to show some different looks. Raise Bull, the pass off the back. FaZe in a tough spot. CRR will get dunked on, and FaZe thankful that this one made it to overtime.
I mean, this entire game has realistically been played in the FaZe half, maybe even inside the FaZe box. It's just been a couple of mistakes now. Huge mistake for Raise Bull. First Killer tried to take on CRR. A shot turned away by Raise Bull as everyone gets back for Complexity. Scary start to this overtime. And Complexity are lucky FaZe didn't break through.
And to getting a bit grimy in that corner as well, you can see the close range challenges. Now a bump from First Killer. Rebound out to Miss, and
Wow.
Miss finishes the job on the goal line. It was a scrappy goal from FaZe that caused them to win this.
It was a scrappy game defensively for FaZe as well. 9 saves from FaZe, and that was enough to keep them in it. They held Complexity to just a single goal after all of the shots that they had. My goodness, FaZe grind out a win here in game 1.
They really did. I mean, and they were, it looked like they got beat up themselves on defense, Corelli. You said almost the whole game in the box, but look at the points Mist is throwing up. Thanks to the 5 saves and 2 goals. Mist was everywhere on the field. I mean, he was getting demos. He was scoring the cleanup goals. The physicality from FaZe put him over the top in this one.
And it was the difference maker against Gen G as well. So same game plan coming out here from FaZe. I think this game 1, though, they played a little bit more defense than they would have liked, James. I think they were a little uncomfortable, a little more dicey than they would have been, than they would rather have. But at the end of the day, they got the job done here. And they took advantage of the opportunity given to them, which is the most important thing, because Complexity didn't give them a lot of chances, but FaZe were able to convert.
I was impressed by a lot of the possession from Complexity, and you saw Raise Bull. He has been fantastic this weekend with just his creativity on the attack and also speed. He takes the space, he forces players off the ball, and sometimes he'll do things you don't expect, like the one leave that he had there that gave an interesting opportunity to Complexity. So we're seeing Complexity hang with FaZe. In fact, offensively having more chances, but we'll see if they're going to get the best of this FaZe defense, because FaZe so far have had answers and also have been able to grind out those goals, Crow.
And this will be the biggest, difference maker here in this game, is how much more can Complexity convert, because it wasn't for a lack of opportunity that they lost this game. They had plenty, and some of it you can give credit to FaZe's defense. Other times, a lot of weak shots maybe came out for Complexity, half chances that were cut out of the way. So Complexity have no problem holding FaZe back. It's how do you convert on the chances you're creating?
I think one thing they'll have to adjust is how many times AJG gets demoed, to keep an eye out for Mist especially. AJG trying to pop that up. Mist up early. First Killer also so fast. CRR did get a tip. Raise Bull retreating back. AJG gets a hit towards net. Mist trying to keep it close. Dodges the ball, but
what?
How does that not go in? Typical out of nowhere getting that save.
What was that? How did Typical get back in time? Mist gave up the ball. It was a free shot. And somehow, Typical makes the save, and now he's going all the way across the field in an air dribble.
Oh, and how plays like that must give you trust in your team. When a Mist is trying to dodge the bump to make the play, trying to touch it down, He gets out of position, and Typical bails him out. I didn't even see him until that shot came in.
He was a lightning.
It was like a lightning strike, Corelli.
It was. It just came out of nowhere, struck down the shot, and then took off.
And now a chance for some offense. AJG trying to get the pass over to Raze Bull. Low boost for Raze as it tips down the side wall. Typical lobbing it into the middle. Missed. Super speedy first up as well, and AJG gets in that way, and it was defended nicely. We've got full field action now. Little touch from CRR. Couldn't get the bump on Mist. Now Typical. Pass. Off the corner. Comes out to Mist, who puts it to the backboard. First Killer far out of the play. This is possession back to Complexity until First Killer tipped that in. And now a hit over it. Razebull getting a double.
Oh, he gave it back. And he almost pushed through there. First Killer able to get back in time, but Complexity, I think FaZe have figured out their offense a little bit more. Complexity, they're giving the ball up more and more. FaZe have had more and more chances down in the final third now, just spending more time down there, pushing Complexity all the way back. FaZe have found the outlet. Here's a great pass to Mist. The shot was directly at Razebull. First Killer tried to set up Typical, but it's too weak, and CRR does well to break up the play for FaZe.
It seemed like a rare miss there from Mist. Mist had a lot of time. Could have got power and placement on that shot. Wasn't really able to get either, and also doesn't connect there, but might have ran out of boost on the play. Good speed at the midfield from First Killer. Mist trying to keep the pressure on. Low boost for First. Literally has nothing. Pops it up for Mist, who can't get there. Complexity still scrambling, trying to get this out. Typical with control. Pops it up high. AGG on the backboard. Razebull jumps early. Gets the tip. The threat of the flip reset from Typical still has Complexity reeling. First Killer off the ceiling now. Jump too far, leaves it for Mist.
And now we're really seeing what this Complexity defense is made of. The first time we're seeing an extended attack from FaZe, and they're doing a good job of turning away. Sometimes it isn't perfect. It's not the prettiest defense, but they get the job done. Neither has FaZe, by the way. As Typical places one directly towards Razebull, and First Killer on the goal line. Has to make the save, but Complexity still want to press as it's denied by Typical. Did he get over his head? He got it! How did that happen?
Oh, CRR, he inched up on the play, was expecting Razebull to at least get a piece of it, and Typical dunked it right past CRR. He was caught in no man's land in disbelief.
Wow.
Too much trust placed in Razebull on that one. That was crazy.
And he had just turned up the field as well, so he just got his positioning, and that ball through the tackle goes right over his head. It's so tough to react there. But mispositioning, I mean, yeah.
After how close this game has been on both sides, the defensive stops, to let one in like that, that's got to sting.
For how good Complexity, I think, have played, even through game one, even though they lost. They had a great game in game one. Lost on a couple counterattacks, and now a scrappy overtime. Here's a shot, everyone from FaZe diving at that one, and they make the play, and all get back into position. So if it works, it works. Maybe ill-advised, but they make the save. Still Complexity testing the waters high above the net. You can see them holding this midfield line, trying to clamp down on FaZe, but FaZe has been unrelenting. Here's a pass over to Mist to try and clear it out.
And you saw First Killer, the back pass in front of his own net. The short ranger, you don't see that too often, but there's that trust rearing its head again, and it was the right play. It allowed FaZe to get the clear out. Final seconds, last opportunity for Complexity to tie it up. There's a demo from Razebull. Mist trying to kill it in the corner. CRR gets beat on the challenge. It touches the ground, and FaZe win back-to-back games in the series, now up 2-0, Corelli. Yeah. Is it getting too far out of reach for Complexity? Oh, it's been a bit heartbreaking, this game in particular.
It's been heartbreaking, but it's not out of reach. 2 one-goal games. One of them was an overtime, and I think for Complexity as well in game one, and here in this game as well, though it wasn't as strong. They were generating that offense still. It's just that stingy defense of FaZe Clan. Again, 9 saves coming out from them to turn away the 9 shots of Complexity. That kind of paints a picture of what exactly happened. And for Complexity, you got to stay the course. They're not playing poorly here, James. This has not been a bad series from them. There's been some mistakes, as you're seeing here in the Mobile One high-performance replay. There's been mistakes. At the same time,
there was that shot from Mist where he had almost the whole net to shoot on, and he shot it right at the goalie. And for CRR, you know, is it a mistake to put trust in Razebull there, or should Razebull get a piece of it? It's just one of those plays where, you know, you're trying to cheat ahead. You're trying to take the optimistic route on the ball and on the play, and it just burns CRR.
I don't think you hedge. I mean, every player's trying to hedge for the best case scenario and the worst case scenario. I think CRR was not hedging for the absolute worst case scenario of the ball being basically pinched over
net,
the top of
right?
the head.
You know, he stayed between the ball and your
directly
between your posts.
And so, unlucky and crept up too far there in that play. And for FaZe, they come out on top. Now they hold a 2-game lead here in this series. Complexity, though, it's only been 1-goal games. They have not just been blown out of the water here. And I would say in game 1, they certainly played better than FaZe.
They've had many chances, but now they find themselves trailing 2 games. And if you're playing better than FaZe and still losing, that might be a bad sign. Typical. Double tap off his own backboard. First killer with the touch. Seems like FaZe at every ball, every challenge. Complexity trying desperately to figure out this FaZe defense. And now the FaZe offense also giving him a headache here. Missed with a tip. Will stay on the ball. Goes for a bump, but CRR able to navigate around it. Low boost for AJG. Will get a touch here, but can't really get the one he was looking for because of 0 boost.
And again, I'll say that the same exact thing I said in the beginning of game 2. You got to look towards Complexity to convert their chances. That's been the difference maker here. FaZe have certainly gained a bit of ground on Complexity when it comes to their offense here. This one's popping up towards the top of the box, and Misto dives in. Everyone pushed up from FaZe, and they're holding onto the ball. Here comes first killer. Miss getting demos as well on the rotation out.
Hey, Corella, that's what I was going to say, too. Did you see how tight FaZe's rotation was? They were all there.
And they felt like they could do it, and they made it work. They kept possession. They had another chance on target, and they got a demo during all that, so it was never scary for FaZe despite how far they were pushed up.
AJG looked like he got bumped, but still powered through, and now gets it by another little wave dash, perhaps a pinch. No, lays it off, lets CRR take it, goes for the bump.
Wow.
It was a nice idea, but the execution just a bit lacking.
Another demo there. First killer, and now AJG on typical. CRR side flips. Follow for miss. Look how fast FaZe are moving here to force this one down the field. CRR using all of his boost, stretching out, and with 0 boost on the backboard. It's up for him, and it's another FaZe player in his face. FaZe have really figured out their offense, but can they convert here? They've been threatening, but only 2 shots out of all this offense so far.
It's kind of like the script, but flipped from game 1, where Complexity was forced FaZe all the way back. Now a shot beats out AJG. I thought AJG was in position to handle this.
I want to see it from AJG's POV, because he sees the whole play develop. He's got ball cam on. He sees everything happen, the missed touch over to first killer, but he just can't keep up with the pace, with the ball, with how that ball was hit. And
well,
oh my.
Pace, it was 84 miles an hour. 84. AJG thought he had the angle covered, Corella.
Can't blame him, but when it's first killer shooting, anything can happen.
And he threw a fastball.
And now that's another time, James, where Complexity trying to hedge against worst case scenario, and it happens again. Worst case scenario, perfect pass from Miss and a bullet to the back of your net.
Yeah, well, there's the worst case scenario, then the first case scenario. One of them is survivable. Typical. Tapping that over to first. Missed, popping it up. CRR looking for Raise Bull. AJG upfield, waiting for Raise Bull to get this into the middle. Here it comes. Off the backboard, double tap. Can't
Everyone
get it.
missed.
And there we have it. Complexity tying it up, finally breaking through this FaZe defense.
Everyone missed the touch, including Mist, as he tried to get off the backboard read and CRR. Beautiful to drop it down, and finally Complexity are able to break through here. It's been a drought for scoring on the Complexity side, and a missed touch there, or just not getting a touch from FaZe, opens it up. Back to a tie game, but maybe not for long. Here comes Mist. It's saved by CRR on the goal line, and we stay knotted.
CRR is having a heck of a game, getting that goal and also that save. CRR has undoubtedly made Complexity much, much better. And that was an impact play there.
Boy.
CRR, another dunk at midfield. CRR doing work.
Good goal. Didn't get the touch back down to Mist. They were trying to set him up. And everyone from FaZe here to back off. Complexity have not shown the same offense that they did in the previous 2 games. This one's easily turned away from Mist. He's got no boost here, looking for options, and he lets First Killer come through. Complexity try to set up their offense again. AJG can't get by Typical, and all of FaZe hitting each other now. First Killer comes barreling through Typical, and this shot off the crossbar. It's a mess in the block, and it still doesn't go in for Complexity.
Wow, that is one of those plays where you just can't believe it didn't go in. That ball was almost all the way past the goal line and still gets cleared out. FaZe live to fight another day, but they're living on low boost. CRR will stay on top. If it gets a flip reset, low Mist will clear it out. The flip reset didn't get elevated. Now Razebull to CRR. CRR goes right for net. He had Razebull and AJG both hunting in the middle. And now there's a demo from First. He's hunting for another bump. Hits the corner boost, bumps AJG off spawn. 0 boost for CRR. This is a good chance for FaZe. AJG bumped again. FaZe trying to win it in regulation. Typical dribbling it up the wall. Gets rule 1 for a moment. Slowed down. Complexity happy to take this to overtime. That was a scary last few seconds.
And you got to give credit to Complexity fighting in that corner and keeping it in the corner there. As the kickoff will go FaZe's way. First Killer trying to end it quickly. Typical pressing, gets demoed, but Mist can't see the ball. He picks it up through the smoke screen and tries to fake it through CRR, just trying to keep it here. Now the touch backwards, Typical diving as that one was wide of the net in the end.
CRR missed.
Wild start here as Typical's pass cut out.
First Killer, it looked like he stole that corner boost, gets underneath the ball, going for the dunk as well. This could be good for FaZe. What? A rebound out, it's over. Typical, he gets a tip straight up. First Killer now, going for the double tap to win it. It's FaZe. CRR got a tip on the ball.
How on earth are they making these saves? Typical with no boost, trying to set up First Killer, but CRR was going to beat him every single time. Missed. Wants to keep it going. First Killer there. A drive directly towards Razebull. Pass to Mist. Shot on target. CRR again, but not a second time. First Killer puts FaZe up by 3.
The FaZe amped it up to 11. Shot after shot after shot. Missed again. Put it right at the goalkeeper. But the rebound bounced right out to First Killer, and First Killer was not going to miss that opportunity. Complexity, they were on their heels at the end of that game. You thought they might be able to pull it out, but FaZe pull ahead once more. And all these games have been close, Corelli, but FaZe just continue to find a way to win.
1 goal game after 1 goal game. Complexity going to take a timeout here. It is 3-0 in the series, James. I said at the beginning that this one could be 7, James. It is not looking like 7 at the moment. FaZe, despite close score lines, they're taking care of business.
They really are. And you saw from the scoreboard just a moment ago, 4 demos from First Killer. FaZe, they are working demos into their game quite nicely, and I feel like it really has slowed Complexity down a bit. They're also forcing Complexity so far back on their back line. There was one play where First Killer got a demo, he goes up, steals the corner boost, and then bumped AJG right off spawn. He might have been going for the insta demo off respawn, and that kind of play, it slows you down so much, because not only are you scrambling in an awkward defensive position where you're out of rotation, but you're also hurting on boost, and all that time there's no chance you're going to score. You're just hoping you don't get scored on.
Just looking at some of the cameras here, James, and it looks similar to the pregame. People stretching out, they're, wiping their eyes.
It doesn't look like there's any windows in there, Corelli. and plus, a gamer hours is a very real phenomenon.
Very real phenomenon, but, you got to show up here today. And right now, while it's been close, again, we've seen it in the Mobile One High Performance replay a few times now. In some of these goals, that was the Fiesta shot. I mean, it was just crazy in the box there from FaZe. And CRR coming up with a huge save again, but just not enough. And again, you got to give some credit over to FaZe. This offense looks even more lethal than I think the FaZe offenses that we've seen from before. They look so much more cohesive. It seems to be more intact, like they trust each other more. And it feels like they have a lot more control over themselves. It's not these wild solo plays that you're trying to go 1v3 every single time. They're using each other. They're communicating, James. I think that's been the big thing. They're talking to each other, and they know where they're at. Those extra passes that we're seeing across the box, we didn't see that from FaZe before.
Which box are you talking about? Are you talking about their own box or the one on offense? Because we've seen it on both sides of the field. It really does feel like this is a new chapter in this FaZe story, one where they really have that trust, and it's been on display, and it really has made FaZe so unpredictable, so difficult to beat. And they're looking like the best in NA. And Corelli, I mean, we had the pre-show where you said FaZe was the best in the world. You said it was a lie. Do you care to maybe reconsider the position?
What, FaZe beating Complexity makes them the best in the world? Is that what you're
No, I'm saying with the way FaZe is playing, do you think they might be the best team in the world?
I think you could formulate an argument right now for sure. I don't know if I'm going to make that argument quite yet, but I'd love to see the major result from FaZe at the moment. But they have to get through Complexity first here and into Game 4, try to finish out this semifinal.
And as much as it hurts my heart to say it, missed. Well, I was going to say Complexity reverse swept NRG earlier in the event. Maybe Complexity could do it again, but this is not a great start. Missed, who's been going for demos, gets a bump on RazeBull to secure this first goal for FaZe.
Smiles there on the player. Cans Mist looking over. He might have been watching his own replay of the stream. I don't know what he's doing there, but he's looking at himself. He knows that was a great play, and what a way to start things off right after a timeout as well. You take it to the back of the net, you take it to the house right off the kickoff.
And with how close the games have been, for Mist to score that quickly in a situation where FaZe is already up. Well, we see a double demo from AJG, opening up space for RazeBull. RazeBull, though, will tip it towards net, rebound out to CRR. Low shot, easily saved by Mist.
And the double demo only helped FaZe as they pack the net off of spawn. First killer.
I mean, that is a very real strategy sometimes, Corelli. If you're out of boost, you know, spawn.
Get demoed?
Yeah, get demoed, spawn with a third of your tank back on defense.
And first instincts there, especially on a double demo, is to protect the net. You saw that immediately. Everyone moved towards the center of the field. Complexity, you just can't. It's such a small window that you have for that power play. It's tough to capitalize on, even with the double demo. And Complexity still trying to threaten here, trying to get that offense going that we saw in the beginning of the series, but it's FaZe who just really picked it up on defense, finding the outlet or just the easy clear to relieve that pressure.
There's a high pass up. CRR read it so fast. But first killer protecting the net. Make sure that one didn't go in. Now Typical up. No challenge. Missed up. The 50 from AJG right off the ceiling. RazeBull will lob one back. First killer. First touch will control it off the backboard into a low 50 from Raze. CR gets it around him, goes for net. Can't bump Typical off the play. Now AJG with a tip up. But missed. Will boom it out once more. Now a demo on RazeBull. However, FaZe still trying to break out of their half. They finally do, but it's right to CRR, who lobs it up high for RazeBull. RazeBull towards net. Another easy save for FaZe.
Still looking for that offense from Complexity. FaZe, I mean, they're happy to sit on this 1-goal lead. It has been enough for 3 games in a row to beat Complexity with 1 goal. Oh, 2 almost coming. Typical, it's too high on the shot. He had the opportunity to double their score. And now CRR wants to play it out slow, but he's slowed down. Typical. Getting some space here. A little extra boost. Another touch would do it, and RazeBull denies it.
Well done by RazeBull. He knew exactly what Typical was trying to do, get that bump on him to leave that pass open. What a first touch from Typical. Go again, going for the bump. Gets bumped back into the ball. RazeBull on empty. And missed with a backflip flick. Or backflip challenge, rather. Forcing that downfield. Missed defensively has been rock solid. Shooting-wise, though, he has not been able to beat Complexity. Now Typical trying to get that ball out to the middle. First killer finds himself last back once more. We'll hit that out to the corner. First killer low 50. CRR pick up full boost, but that first touch got away from him. AJG back to CRR, who backflips and can't get there as well. Used up all his boost and now is out of position.
Oh my goodness.
First killer with a dunk. AJG has to buy time. And there's more time bought with that demo from RazeBull.
Whoa, FaZe picking up here. AJG want to take it to the house again, but it was missed to deny him. And another monster clear from FaZe. They just boom it over the first man, and there's so much space behind him. And FaZe have chewed up a lot of the clock. There's a demo for CRR. RazeBull 1v1 against Mist. Mist gonna come up huge. Doesn't get the punch, but the shot was high. Or wide, excuse me, as it rolls up high. AJG trying to force it. RazeBull again wants a piece of the FaZe defense. Flip reset. Over one. Mist makes the save. AJG, the shot was too high there. CRR denied, but it'll go through in the end. And Complexity grind out there first.
This is another scrappy goal. It wasn't even Complexity that put it in. It was Typical, who was trying to challenge, ended up knocking that into his own net. It was like a pinball machine. Corelli bouncing off everything, finally going into the net.
It's a fiesta in the FaZe box. And Complexity, they're making it work. Another pass to AJG on the post.
Oh my. It looked like they beat FaZe again, but Complexity couldn't find the shot from AJG. Now FaZe finally spending some time in Complexity's half. He's really kicked it into the next gear. Complexity's tournament life is on the line here, but an overcommit and a wide open net for First Killer.
And how does this happen for Complexity? A couple times now, one man gets beat, and CRR crept up too far again.
It was almost the exact same situation where CRR is thinking RazeBull is at least going to get a piece of the ball. And RazeBull did not get a piece of that ball. And he was caught out again.
He's caught out again. He was the last man, and then he got caught in no man's land. Couldn't make the challenge. Knew that he'd be beat, so he tried to turn around. It was just too late. First Killer, quick to this one. Oh no, double tap. Hammer coming through, but it's RazeBull to deny the dagger for now. Huge save from RazeBull. 20 seconds left. Last gasp of air, but it comes out the First Killer. Past the Mist, and it's denied by CRR.
And CRR finished that play with 0 boost. That at least keeps some hope alive for Complexity. Infield pass to RazeBull. RazeBull shot blocked. First Killer gonna try to waste this time. CRR pre-jumping. First Killer off the ceiling, down to the ground. He spears it just like FaZe spear Complexity. It's a sweep. FaZe are going back to the grand finals.
Back-to-back appearances, and you can see that smile on RLCS. They know what they're doing. This team has never looked better, James. Never. There has never been a version of FaZe that has looked this clean, this consistent, and winning against this high quality of teams consistently. This is a world beater right now for FaZe, and they get to face G2 in the final.
I have to agree, Corelli. I think when it comes to the rankings of the power rankings of North America right now, you'd have Gen G at the top, you have FaZe, Complexity, all there, and now G2. FaZe might beat everybody. They took down Gen G in the quarters. They just took down Complexity in a sweep. They've only dropped one game, Corelli. It is so true. FaZe really have never looked better. They won the last regional event, and it looks like they might repeat. Can FaZe win it all? We'll find out after the break.